Just with this little bit of taste. Yes, of course.
Good. This is not.
Yeah, but I can.
Oh, we're hot. No talk.
Hey, Rich. Hey, Rich. Hey, Rabbi.
Then we'll have to. That's fine. I am. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. Hi everyone, good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Ruthie, you have some new hair. There's a new haircut. You got a haircut. I can see that. Hi everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. And Chag Sameach as we enter Chag HaSukkot. Why don't we start us off with a little music?
All right, we're going to do a nice nigun. This was written by Shlomo Karlbach. Mizmor LaDavid. You know, we don't really have to yet.
Oh, really?
We're okay. Here we go. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, die, die. I need to hear somebody. Come on. Die, 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 die. Yeah, die, 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 die. Yeah, die, 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 die. Yeah, 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 la, 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 la. Yeah, la, 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 la. Yeah, die, 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 die. Yeah, die, 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 die. Yeah, die, 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 die. Yeah, die, 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 die. Yeah, die, 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 die. Yeah, die, die, die. Yeah, da, 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 da. Yeah, die, da, da, da. Yeah, da, 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 da. Yeah, die, da, da, da. Yeah, da, 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 da. Yeah, die, da, da, da. Yeah, die, 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 die.
For candles and Kiddush, we call up Barbara Samuels and Stanley Leskin. We turn to page 120.
No.
We turn to page 384.
Yep. Festivals.
If I didn't have this guy, I wouldn't have my head, you know? 384. I know, yes, it is for the festival.
It's the festival tonight. Stanley, I got it. I have it here if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, whoever's in charge of the lighters, a simpler one is definitely in need. And I know that's probably not, what the lighter business is about, is making it simpler to light things on fire, but that's what we need.
I am an Amazon Prime member.
Oh. Why didn't you say so earlier, sir?
Okay.
Okay, so for everyone, you ready? You roll it forward with the thumb, roll it forward with the thumb, and click
Wow.
with the index finger. Roll it forward with the thumb, click with the index finger. No. Yeah, there you go. Are you left-handed? Oh. I didn't know you were left-handed. The devil is among us. Why don't you read that English?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat v'yom tov.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov. Thank you. Okay, page 386.
Wait one moment. 386. Hey, Stanley. Wait, the page before that? Why don't you read?
Put this down. I'll have two hands.
Just the first paragraph.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign universe, who has chosen us from the people, exalting us from the hallowing us the mitzvahs in your love, Adonai our God. You have given us
Shabbatot.
festival of goodness and seasons of joy. This Shabbat day and this festival of Sukkot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Parei Hagaf, and Amen.
Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, b'horei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'am, v'romamanu mikol ha'shon, v'kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav. V'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava, Shabbatot lemenucha, muadim lesimcha, chagim uzmanim lesason, et yom HaShabbat hazeh, ואת יום חג הסוכות הזה, זמן שמחתנו מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי הבנו והכרת והיותנו קידשת מכל העמים, כי הבנו והכרת והיותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת מועדי קדשך באהבה ורצון, בשמחה וששון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת בישראל והזמנים. לחיים טובים.
L'chaim tovim. Thank you both for joining us this evening.
Got the real stuff tonight.
Thank you.
I know, thank you.
As pointed out by Jewel, these are baskets of fruit up here. I don't know what's in them, but I'm told that there are baskets of fruit. That's it. I think it's beautiful what we have up here. It feels like fall exploded right on our bima, right in front of us.
There you go. Our service is a little different tonight since it's a festival. We go to page 390 and we do the Psalm for Shabbat. Ma Gadlu, we go down 11 lines. Ma Gadlu. Okay, the translation is in the middle of the page. How great are your works, Adonai. How very subtle your designs. Beautiful line from Psalm 92. So let's all sing. Ma Gadlu Ma'asecha ya Me'od amku Makshavotecha Ma Gadlu Ma'asecha ya Me'od amku Makshavotecha Ma Gadlu Ma'asecha ya Me'od amku Makshavotecha Ma Gadlu Ma'asecha ya Me'od amku Makshavotecha. So back on page 389, there's just a small short reading where it says Sukkot, but I think it's a really beautiful one. It says, tonight, let our shelters be strong with the finest fruits of creation. Love, fertility, prosperity, wisdom. Let us promise to feed the hungry. Let our harvest bring peace. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. The Chatzi Kaddish, page 392. Yitkadav, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabba, Biamad Ibra Kurotei, Biamlik Malchutei, Bechayechon, Uvyomechon, Uvchayedecho Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, ובזמן קריב יאמרו
Amen.
יהי שמי רבא מבורך לעולם עולם מהמיה
Yitbarach
יתברך וישתבח יתבהר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודשיו
Brichu
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בימה ויאמרו Amen.
Rise for the Baruch Hu, page 394.
Lai, la, la.
Ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. La 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Olam Vahed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach
Leolam Vahed
Ya la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la la. We read in the Hebrew Ma'ariv Aravim, especially now, as the sun is a little bit tricky. It starts to set earlier and earlier. And in a sense, it gives us prospects of newness. In my understanding, as soon as the outside environment starts to change, we notice something inside of ourselves. It says, maybe there's change about, and maybe change is on the way for us too. Page 396. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhma potech she'arim u'vitvuna mishnei itim u'machalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishperatehem yerakia kirtzono v'rei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or u'ma'avir yom u'meivi layla u'mavdil ben yom u'vein layla Adonai Tzevaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim Ahavat Olam, page 398.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Avta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokfeinu Uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha le'olam Ki hem chayeinu Ve'orech yameinu Uvahem neged Yomam v'layla
tasir mimenu leolamim. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. We rise as we turn to page 400 for the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. We turn to the bottom of page 402 for the Ve'ahavta. We all read together. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Mi chamocha, our prayer for freedom, which is an important part of this festival season of Sukkot, can be found on page 406. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam vaed, Adonai yimloch le'olam vaed. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. And notice that it's a bit different. It doesn't say Tzor Yisrael. It says V'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov. A little bit different. The Mi Chamocha changes from time to time. It's quite interesting. As do some of our prayers, depending on the time and the season. The Hashki Venu can be found on page 409. Please read with me at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal God, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Blessed is the guardian of Israel, whose love gives light to all the world. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'alekol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. The Vishamru, we're gonna stick to a little bit of an old school melody. We're gonna do the Karl Bach melody today.
All right.
Vishamru, page 410.
Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. I don't care.
We rise on page 470 for Ha Tefillah, our Amidah prayer, as we face towards the ark.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zoker Chasdei Avot V'Imaot, U'mevi Gevura Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mekayem Etim, Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mekakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mekayem Eitim B'Rakamim Rabim, Tzomech Noflim B'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Mikamocha Ba'Gevurot, Umidom Melech, Melech Meimit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanat al hakayot Meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMeitim. Okay, we're going to go to page 478. Yep. 478, please be seated. This is special for the holidays. Tabakartanu mikohamim, ahavta tanvaratzi tabanu, v'romamtanu mikol alashonot, v'kedashtanu b'mitzvotecha, v'kerovtanu mokenu la'avodatecha, v'shimka gadol b'hakadosh, aleinu karata, v'titen lanu, Adonai Eloheinu b'yahava, Shabbatot lemenucha, muadim l'simcha, Chagim uzmanim l'sason, et yom ha-Shabbat hazeh, ואת יום חג הסוכות הזה, זמן שמחתנו, מקרא קודש, Zecher L'tziat Mitzrayim.
Page 480.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Yaleh v'Yavo v'Yizaker Zikronenu v'Zikron Kol Amka Beit Yisrael Lefanecha Letova U'Lechein U'Lechesed U'Lerachamim U'Lechayim U'Leshalom B'Yom Kakasukot Hazeh Zakrenu Adonai Eloheinu.
Big and loud, folks. Amen. Come on. Amen. There you go. All together. Amen. Good job. This day, remember us for well-being. This day, bless us with your nearness. This day, help us to a fuller life. We turn now to the top of page 487. Our ancestors acclaimed the God whose handiwork they read, in the mysterious heavens above and in the varied scene of earth below, and in the orderly march of days and nights, of seasons and years. And in the checkered fate of humankind, lift up your eyes, look up. Who made these stars? Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha l'cha na'eh lehodot. Shalom Rav can be found on page 488.
Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam Tasim le'olam Ki atahu melech Adon Lecha Shalom Ki atahu melech Adon Lekol HaShalom V'tov beinecha Levarek et Amka Yisrael B'kol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amka Tasim leolam Tasim leolam Ki atahu melech Adon Lekol HaShalom Lekol HaShalom Lekol HaShalom.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Hi, everybody. Long time no see. This is like deja vu a little bit, you know? I remember seeing you not so long ago. So you might have remembered that I spoke on Yom Kippur about Herzl. In fact, he's even up here still. And I love him, okay? He's my favorite. And there's a good reason why. Here he is. He's looking over a balcony, very serious. I'll put him up here, right next to the pumpkins. I'm sure Herzl would agree, because that's exactly what I'm talking about tonight. You see, Herzl was in a dialogue, not with himself. Herzl was, in a sense, a secularist, which is to say that he's most notably known for his conquest of the attempt to save Jews. But he is not known like Echad Ha'am, in his attempt not to save Jews, but to save Judaism. You see, Herzl actually imagined in Israel, not that we would speak Hebrew or that we would speak Aramaic. We would speak German. Why German? Well, German was all the rage. German was the tongue of politics. It was the tongue of culture. It was the tongue of arts. So in a sense, what Herzl was describing was kind of this secular notion of Jews embodying integration into the larger way of life. He went a little bit too far, I'd say at times, which was why Echad Ha'am. And the argument goes, the two, in a sense, one was out to save the Jews, to rescue the Jews who had fallen into the Eastern European traps, in a sense, of pogroms and the hatred they faced. But it wasn't enough to just save the Jewish people. Echad Ha'am wanted to save Judaism, in a sense. That it wasn't enough that we could just be alive. It wasn't enough that we just make it. That as we see each Friday, as Cantor always points out, we say L'chaim Tovim. That it's not just enough that we just live, that we live a good life. That in a sense, Echad Ha'am agreed with Herzl in a sense, but also said that it's not just enough that we save Judaism, we save the Jews. It's important that we save Judaism. The reason why I bring this up is because Herzl, like myself, was really good at assimilation. As I mentioned, he had been in lots of different places, and Herzl was keen on assimilation. In fact, for most of our history in Judaism, assimilation is the way that Jews have somewhat prospered. Assimilation is not a bad thing. I think it has come to take on a very negative connotation, but it's not a bad thing. Assimilation is the way we integrate ourselves into the greater world that's out there. Assimilation is the reason why you walk into the supermarket and you carry your cart around, okay, as opposed to putting things on your head. Why? Well, because, we do as others do, which in the sense, assimilation is something that has helped the Jews be who we are. But assimilation can go too far. We've all noticed instances in which we've attempted as people to blend in. But we also notice on the other end that sometimes our blending in will lead to the downfall of our own personal identity. That in a sense, to assimilate means to give something up of ourselves. Because assimilation really is about creating peace with the outside environment in which we live. The reason why I bring this up on Sukkot is because, as you've noticed, a sukkah is not a permanent dwelling place. The sukkah is supposed to be impermanent. It's a tent. It's a tent. You can make them anywhere. What we celebrate on Sukkot is impermanence. What we celebrate on Sukkot is the fact that we too are strangers. That we too know what it's like to go from land to land and have to pick up and move ourselves and assimilate into a different environment. Sukkot, really this holiday, is a celebration of the Jewish ability to pick up and find a home. What I didn't share with you is that Herzl was willing to say that Uganda could even be the home of the Jews. Why? Because it was important to find a home. That in a sense, because we had been to Egypt, that we had been everywhere in the world, what's one more move? What does it mean then to pick up and to move? In a sense, it is our survival. It is what makes us uniquely us as Jews. The idea of impermanence in terms of our place. That we're able to collectively say that we can build a sukkah anywhere. However, there is a balance. On Sukkot, we celebrate the impermanence of structure, the impermanence of this place that we say, oh, this is our home. But as someone who's moved around a lot, that word home means absolutely nothing to me. What it means to me is simply where everyone is. And if everyone is not in the place that I am, that we are willing to pick up and travel and move to that place and reclaim ourselves once again. Sukkot is that celebration of impermanence. It's the celebration, in some ways, of wanting to assimilate, but also finding our unique Jewish identity. Sukkot is an odd holiday, folks, okay? People come by, they say, what are you doing? I say, we're hanging fruit from in a hut. And what do you do in this hut, people ask? Well, we shake a branch and a fruit you've never heard of. It's a little odd. It's a little odd, but it's our unique custom. Our custom. One that we celebrate and pass on from generation to generation. The celebration of Sukkot is a celebration of our unique identity as Jews, but also our ability to say, if this isn't working, we will migrate and we will find freedom once again. That if we can do it in Egypt and find Israel, that wherever we are in a place of impermanence, in a place of hatred, in a place where we aren't respected, in a place where we aren't growing and nourishing ourselves, in a place that we aren't living to our highest ideal, we can pick up and we can find and we can move. And we can find a place that we call home to assimilate, but also yet retain a sense of our unique identity. As we celebrate Sukkot, as you shake your lulav and etrog, be reminded that we have a place that we call home. We have a unique identity as Jews, and yet, at the same time, we integrate ourselves in the larger world in which there is. That's why, on Sukkot, we invite guests, ushpizim, the community around us. As we move in, I hope that you have a wonderful and festive Sukkot, but also find the unique identity that you see as a Jew in this holiday. As we go through the holiday season, it's clear that not everyone is doing what we are doing. But also, as Jews, we have in a sense two different ways of viewing home. The home in which we live and the home in which our community is, in which other Jews are. And as Jews, we understand this and we know this. May your Sukkot be fruitful. May you invite in guests, spiritually and otherwise. And may you be surrounded by a community and the stars above and reminded that wherever you call home certainly is home. But we certainly have the diligence and wherewithal to pick up and find a new home once again. That is the celebration of Sukkot. All right. Misha Berach, can be found on page 371. We think of those who are in need of healing, spiritually and physically. Oh, I don't have a list up here. There wasn't a list. Okay. So if there are names you'd like to call out or say to be mindful of, if you would say that name aloud as either my hand or eyes meet yours, and we'll just go around the room. Okay, we'll just start on the left. Brent, in the back. Done? Sheila in the back, and then we'll get to Barbara. And Barbara.
Okay, and I'm going to add Al Patalis, in Hebrew, Abraham Ben Marsha, and Karen Morris. Okay, page 370. One more.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Esther Ross. Okay.
Okay, page 371 in the middle.
Yeah? Wait, is there any more names from that group of ladies? I think we're good.
Okay. Misheberach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
The Aleinu can be found on page 586. We rise as our ark is opened.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedula liyotzeh breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahen, vegor aleinu kekol hamonam, vanachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
We turn now to the anniversary of the deaths. We commemorate those who are no longer here with us physically, but always with us spiritually and certainly in our hearts and everything we do. We commemorate the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust, as well as Ellensworth Cohen, Ellen Davis, Ira Dorfman, Rose Epstein, Emma Gelman, Marvin Gerstmann, Jack Goldman, Edna Greenberg, Herod Gustorf, Sanford Himes, Devorah Jacobowitz, Anna Kaufman, Louise Kay, Natalie Kominsky, Arthur Loftman, Sam Lisansky, Myron Littman, David Markowitz, Edward May, Edward Meislick, Irving Merker, Monia Morningstar, Jeanette Muttner, Charles Rappaport, Kate Rosenberg, Judy Rudinsky, Robert Silverstone, Joseph Underdorfer, Sam Weinstein, Emmanuel Woolworth, Daniel Zappia, and Abe's Bar. If there are names you'd like to add to this list, please feel free to do so as either my hand or eyes meet yours, and we'll start on the left side. Don? Sheila? Okay. Page 598. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabba ve'alma divra chirutei ve'almich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chay dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Hey Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Ulmei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Dukudesha Berichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran de'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Osei Shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'emru, Amen. Zichronam livracha. May all their memories be for a blessing, and you may be seated. Sharon Tannenhouse for a few announcements. Just a few. That's what she says every week.
I time it. It's not that long.
I'm kidding.
I know.
Can't give her any grief, you know?
Come on. Yes, you can. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Chag Sameach. Thank you, Rabbi, for the beautiful service and for your sense of humor. Thank you, Cantor. Thank you, Richie. And thank you, David, upstairs. Yom Kippur services were wonderful. It was great to have so many join us here and so many watching online. Rabbi Aaron and Cantor Manny made the services so special and so meaningful, along with the beautiful accompaniment from Richie, our guest musicians, the shofar blowing of Sam Gruscott, and every member of our congregation who participated. Both the family Shabbat with Rabbi and Barb Siegel and the junior congregation led by Barb were really great. It was wonderful for the kids. The flowers tonight are sponsored by Sisterhood. There are flowers, aren't there? Maybe not.
There's fake pumpkins. Those are kind of like flowers.
I just take it for granted, and now I don't remember.
The only thing real on this stage is probably the three humans on it.
Okay, well, there were flowers in the chapel, so they're sponsored by Sisterhood. And the Bima decorations, it was decorated by, for Sukkot by the members of our Sisterhood transition team and a few additional helpers. So maybe you've heard about the transition team, maybe you haven't. But it's just a group, a small group who've been working to blend what was our sisterhood with what will be our sisterhood. And like the happy hour in August, we have another free event for all coming up. The Sisterhood Chai Tea is October 22nd at 2 p.m. Every one of the women of Temple Bethel are welcome, along with your children, boys and girls. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, Torah study, followed by Shabbat morning service, will be on Zoom. Sunday JLC is back at 9:30, right, Aria? And at 11 a.m., everyone is welcome to come to our Sukkot Harvest Festival. There'll be games and food, and you can perform the mitzvah of shaking the lulav and etrog with Rabbi. If you'd like to bring a bag of fruit or vegetables to share, that'll be wonderful too. Monday, Women's Spirituality Group is having Ginger Ryder, Cantor Manny's wife, as their guest, talking about the comedy and times of Joan Rivers. The meeting will be on Zoom. The info to join the meeting is in yesterday's trending, and everyone is welcome. The time was wrong in my announcements last week and in trending, so everyone please take note. The correct time to join this event is at 6 p.m., and I believe most of you got a text this afternoon from the temple. 6 p.m. for Women's Spirituality on Monday. On Wednesday, Cantor's class at 6 p.m. with special guest Rabbi Aaron. Next Friday at 6, consecration will take place for our new JLC learners. Our regular Shabbat services, as usual, will be in person and online at 7. Next Saturday at 10, Yisker in person here in the sanctuary. Next Sunday, JLC at 9:30, and then at 11, we'll be celebrating Simchas Torah here in the sanctuary. And a quick look ahead, Saturday, October 14th, second Saturday's Shabbat stock, it's back. We're having a special Sunset Havdalah edition at 6 p.m. Still family and pet friendly, still parent and me yoga, still refreshments of the evening type, evening appropriate, with Jewgrass Revival and fresh new music. And then the next day, Sunday, October 15th at 10 a.m., Adult Ed is presenting Broward County Commissioner Beam Fur at a special brunch to talk about the effects of climate change on our environment. And we request that you RSVP to the office so that we will be able to have a head count. We will know who to expect, how many. We still need your food donations for our food drive. We're collecting through Sukkot, so please add your donations to the boxes at our front door. Hamotzi's going to be over there. The oneg's going to be in the chapel where those flowers are. And the gift shop is not open tonight, but you can always contact the office if you need something. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom. Chag Sameach.
Do you ever notice that we have Greek Roman pillars on the bima? Talk about assimilation, you know?
It kind of reminds me of Caesarea.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Las Vegas. Don't forget Herzl. I would.
Yeah.
He's hanging out.
All right. Our final hymn for tonight, page 664. This is a song that comes from Ecclesiastes, which we read on Sukkot. And that's why it's in the page for Sukkot songs. And the song we're going to sing was made famous by the Byrds. Some of you might remember that song.
Wait, like the BYRD, that was who did?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh.
It was the Byrds. All right, so I expect everyone to sing. Here we go. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. I need some help. To everything,
turn, turn, turn.
There is a season,
turn, turn, turn.
And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rent, a time to sow, a time of love, a time of hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. This is our last turn. Come on. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. and a time to every purpose under heaven. We sing that once a year on the Friday night of Sukkot. We give thanks to God for bread.
Yeah, I knew you wanted to come up.
Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. We'll see you Sunday for our festival of Sukkot. And if you want to join us tomorrow morning for Torah study, please log on at 9:30 for Zoom. I'll see you there online. Shabbat Shalom.
Beautiful. Yeah. Okay.
You're gonna be out, man. You better enjoy yourself while you still can. 4 weeks is a long time. You better do and eat whatever you want to now. Okay.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it.
Maybe we'll do it. You got it.